All right, so this is a good one. James from Act Audio, Vernon, Connecticut. And today we're going to talk about what is the best system for a motorcycle. It's a tough question. There's no defined answer, right? Because there's so many variables, and the problem is what you like and what I like and what this person likes and that person likes are all completely different. I might ruffle some feathers with some of these statements here, but I'm going to say it. Motorcycle guys are my best customers because they love their toy, they love their music, they can drop it off and leave it, and they make it very easy for us. But they also do a lot of research, and they make it very difficult for us. And I have many, many guys who go down these rabbit holes on forums, and they're listening to what other people have to say, and they just can't make up their mind and make a decision, and they never get the project done. I talk to many guys who we never get anywhere because they can't do it. And when I tell all of them, whether it's me or someone else, you need to find a shop that you can trust and go with it. Because at the end of the day, the best system is a personal opinion, right? So if you go to a good shop, they should be able to demo you some system. So it's a personal opinion, right? Because do I want subs in my bag? Do I want eights? Do I want horns? Do I want something smoother, right? Because you might want it brighter, someone else wants it smoother, and all different speakers have different properties. The problem with the forums, you're going on the forum, you're typing in, what's the best speaker for my motorcycle? And you're gonna get every single brand that's available, even the shit brands, right? Because the problem is if Jeff over here goes and puts a system on his bike, it's better than factory, but it's a garbage company. He's happy with it. That's the only thing he's ever done. He's going to tell you it's the best company because in his experience, that is the best company. You come to someone like me, I have installed many different brands, right? I can't say I've installed them all, and I will be honest with you. If someone says, well, what do you think of X brand? And I'm like, I can't compare them. I don't know. Because I always want to be honest with my customers. But I've done Cicada, Diamond, Hertz, Ground Zero, DS18, Euphoria. You know, I've done a lot of the brands. So I have a lot of real world comparison. I also have a board over here, Cicada, Hertz, Diamond, Factory. Right? So I can give you a true A-B comparison here. You know, the next part is look at the Spanish culture. They love that bright ass, loud pro audio music. That's not my cup of tea, right? I'm more of a smooth, not bright guy. Generally, I'm much less when it comes to the brightness than most people, even my employees. On a motorcycle, it's a different story. I want some brightness because it's gonna help cut through that air when I'm riding 80 miles an hour down the highway. You know, I have my favorite system that I go to. It's our stage one, common stage one. We do it a lot. You'll see it in most of our videos. That's also my opinion. And to me, that is a pair of coaxial horns in the front, 6x9s in the rear. If you want it brighter, you can put more horns. If you want more mid, you can put a 10 or 8 in the bag. If you want to get it a little lower, you know, the Hertz, I think it's the SV200L, is a great speaker that kind of gets low without actually putting a sub in. There's a lot of variables you can get into depending on what you want as your end result. Because what is the best system on a motorcycle is dictated by a person, their life choices, their personality, and all those kind of things. I know I'm not answering the question for you, but I really can't. At the end of the day, the biggest thing is finding a shop that you trust and go with it. When it comes to people come in, they're like, should I go with Cicada? Should I go with Hertz? Should I go with Ground Zero, Euphoria, Diamond, whatever it is? You know, they all have different properties, right? I definitely find a little more mid-bass out of the Cicada versus the Diamonds and whatever. But at the end of the day, the best you're gonna get is the installer who can tune a DSP properly and give you the best results. There's a lot of little things, like anyone can RTA and nip down the RTA, but there's other things. I got a couple tricks that I do that gives you more mid-bass that no shop that I know of, except for one 45 minutes away, does on motorcycles. So I can generally promise that my DSP tunes are gonna provide you with more mid-bass on your Harley because of what I do. So the person tuning the bike is gonna give you the best results. When you buy a tune online, you buy a setup system online, it comes with the pre-loaded tune. Those are great. Most likely it's fine because bikes are pretty much the same thing. Street glide, road glide, product, but there could be a variable on your bike that wasn't on the other bike that can affect the sound difference. And you could slightly alter that tune to be better for your bike and your experience when you manually tune it versus a preloaded tune. So one last one is, there's no need to go with all Cicada, all Diamond, all Hertz, right? Different companies have different speakers that have different properties. Some are better than others, things like that, right? So if you want this, so like that, the Hertz SX165 Neo, it's a great sounding speaker. It's got a high sensitivity, which makes it louder than other speakers when it's apples to apples. It gives you really good overall sound. But maybe you're someone that wants it a bit brighter and you want that horn in there. So you're gonna go with the Diamond or Cicada, and Hertz doesn't have it. The price point of the Hertz SX69 Neos, from everything I've tested, they get a little bit lower and sound a little bit better than some of the other speakers. So I might want that Cicada speaker in the front, that Hertz speaker in the rear. I'm using a 24 plus bike and I'm limited on space, so I have to do the Diamond or the Cicada amp because it's what fits the best with the interface and the DSP. So it could have 3 different companies on that bike. There's a reason, because each of those companies has a product that works better in X situation to make it optimized. So sometimes when you're doing all the same brand, you could be sacrificing something because they may not have a product that is optimized for you. This isn't always the case. It's kind of rare because if you got most bikes, it is what it is. But another good example is if you want multiple amps, Hertz, I love the Hertz amp. It's my favorite amp. It's not your go-to amp if you want to keep everything in the fairing. You can put 2 Hertz amps on a bike, but one's going to go in the saddlebag or the tour pack or whatever it is. You want to do multiple amps up in the fairing. Now we got to move over to like Sound Digital or something, because they make that compact, powerful amp that can put out the same power in a compact chassis. That's where mixing and matching can come in handy to give you the best results on your system. Get offline, is my opinion. Stop doing the research. Go listen to some bike. Go listen to some shops and how they tune it and the end result of the bikes, and find one that you like and go with it. And most shops, if they're reputable, like mine, right? You're not going to get this from a roadside stand at a rally. If you're unhappy with something, you're going to come in through our door and you're going to say, hey, I really wish I had more highs or more clarity or more bass or whatever it is on my bike. What can we do? If it's sometimes as simple as swapping out equipment, we're going to take care of it for you, because we want you to be satisfied. We don't want you riding around with speakers that you're not ecstatic about, right? You're like, yeah, they're good, but I wish blah, blah, blah. We don't want you riding around like that. We want you riding around happy, because you're gonna tell your buddies and they're gonna come to us too. Any questions, ask me down below. As always, please support my channel, click like, subscribe, ask me questions. I hope all this made sense. Take care.